各位贵宾、各位女士、各位先生，以及来自世界各地的观众，欢迎大家参加2022智慧城市首长高峰会的第一个场次。我是今天的主持人郭安妮。今年我们的首长高峰会依然是以虚拟的方式，混合了线上以及实体一起举行。我们欢迎来自世界各地的观众以及贵宾参与我们的国际论坛。但是呢，这是2020年疫情爆发以来第一次有海外的代表团莅临台北。我们今天也非常高兴能够欢迎来自世界各地的贵宾参与我们的国际论坛。各位女士、各位先生，我们掌声欢迎所有在现场的代表，同时也要欢迎所有来自海外在线上参与的贵宾。今天我们的圆桌论坛将由台北市副市长黄珊珊来为我们主持，她会与我们的贵宾共同讨论如何透过数位转型来因应新常态。我们首先介绍今天的贵宾，我们在现场的贵宾，请您站起来给大家挥挥手。如果是线上的贵宾的话，请您将镜头打开，挥挥手，向大家打声招呼，让我们在现场的也可以看得到您。我们今天的贵宾来自11个城市，各位女士、各位先生，我们掌声欢迎台北市长柯文哲先生。台北市副市长黄珊珊女士，捷克维索基纳省议员 Jan Bersidala 先生，捷克布拉格市长赫瑞普先生。
Bartoshewis, Deputy Mayor of
波兰格丁尼亚市市长 Bartoshewis 先生。
Mr. Koemitsu, Member of Parliament,
比利时议会议员 Koemitsu 先生。
Welcome.
欢迎。
Konrad Fiog, Mayor of Rizalzo, Poland.
波兰 Rizalzo 市市长 Konrad Fiog 先生。法国普罗旺斯艾克斯副市长 Salah Quel 先生。
May I please also welcome Mr. Cammy Day, Deputy Leader of
另外
City of Edinburgh
我们欢
Council,
迎
the UK.
英国爱丁堡市议会副议长 Cammy Day 先生。
Next, may we please welcome
接下来
Dato Ten Chan Kim,
邀请
Selangor Executive Councillor for
马来西亚
Industry and
雪兰莪州
Commerce,
高级行
Malaysia.
政议员邓章清拿督。
Next, welcome Denis
接下
Amou,
来
Deputy Mayor
欢
of
迎法
Dijon
国
Metropol, France.
地荣大都会区副市长 Denis Hamou 先生。
Next, His Excellency
另外
Galwin Obaseki,
我们也
Executive
欢迎
Governor of
来
LSA
自
Government of
奈及利
Nigeria.
亚埃多州的州长 Godwin Obaseki 先生。
Thank you all for being with us
谢
today,
谢所有
whether
的
you're
贵
in
宾，
person
不
or
管是大
online.
家
But before we
是
begin
线
our
上参
international
加
roundtable,
还
we
是
will be
亲临
taking
现
a
场。
virtual group
我们
photo
在展
for
开
now.
我们
Now,
的
all
高
the
峰会之
delegates,
前，
please
邀请大
remain
家
seated. As you
为
can see,
我
our
们
cameraman is now on
进
stage.
这个
The
共
photo
同
will be
拍
taken
张
from the
大合
stage.
照。那么
And
在
also
座
reminder
的
for
大家
all
呢，
the
就留在
online
座位
guests,
上，我们
not
会
only
在
the online
舞
speakers, but
台
also
来
VIP
拍
guests
照
and。audiences.
那
Could
么
you please all
在
turn on your
线上
camera?
的观众，麻烦
We will all
大家将
take
镜头
a
打
virtual
开，
photo together.
让我们可以一起拍张大合
I
照。
understand that most of the online delegates do
我
not
知道
have your mask on.
线
So
上大
please
家
give
没
me your
有
biggest smile.
戴口罩，所以请大家务必
Okay.
要给我们一
All
个
right.
微笑。
If we are ready, I'm going to
好
count，down
准备
3,
好
2,
的话，
1.
我要倒数3、2、1。
Smile. Pretty easy, right? This is our
好
first
这是我们第一张。那么，因为我们现在在这个台北的智慧城市首长高峰会，我们的传统是请大家用大拇指比赞。我们请来自线上以及实体的观众都为我们比起大拇指比赞。好，掌声感谢大家今天的参与。再次谢谢大家。好，那我们在开始今天的高峰会之前，我们一起先欢迎台北市市长柯文哲先生来为我们上台致开幕词。我们欢迎柯市长。各位女士、各位先生，大家午安。我是台北市市长柯文哲。我们年度的智慧城市首长高峰会及展览，有来自288个城市，横跨67个国家的300多位代表一起参与。过去这6年，我们的圆桌论坛还有展览呢，因为新冠疫情的关系受到影响，我们只好用虚拟的方式来线上和实体共同举行。不过呢，我们还是能够欢迎来自世界各地的代表共同参与。台湾在抗疫成就方面举世闻名，这让我们2022年的智慧城市首长高峰会以及展览能够以实体方式举行。我们有来自海外39位贵宾一同参与。那么有一些代表他们没有办法入境台湾，但是他们会用视讯会议的方式虚拟参加。这一些代表呢，包括了来自捷克等等地区的代表团，今天在我们现场。另外还有一些贵宾，他们在线上参与，他们分别来自不同的城市以及不同的地区，包括来自立陶宛还有波兰的这个代表，另外还有来自法国的 Aix-en-Provence 的代表，来自爱丁堡的代表，来自雪兰莪州的代表，来自地荣大都会区的副市长，还有来自奈及利亚埃多州的州长。我非常的感谢大家今天能够拨冗参与我们这一次的智慧城市首长高峰会。即使全球疫情仍然非常的严重，那即使届时疫情趋缓，我们要回到常态也很难。我们必须要适应新的常态，因此我们必须要转型，要纾困，要缓解疫情造成的影响。这样才能够帮助所有的企业还有市民。我们要推动新的概念，建立新的社会经济模式。台北市政府出版了一份数位转型2.0的白皮书，在里头呢，我们将1.0升级。从这个新常态开始，台北市推动数位转型，包括了电商、远端医疗、都市智慧中心等等不同的计划，来共同打造新世纪的台北。除此之外，台北也积极地参与数位基础建设的发展，让我们的城市更具韧性，让我们的企业更强健。因此，我们台湾就能够面对因应任何未来带来的挑战。全球都站在十字路口上，我们需要都市的数位转型。通常提到数位转型，我们就会提到智慧城市。2022年 的智慧城市首长高峰会，欢迎大家来参与。我们认为许多的城市都不断地在加强数位基础建设，来帮助市民能够适应新常态，也带领企业界进行数位转型。台北市愿意分享我们的成功经验，还有我们的一些想法。那我们这一次的高峰会就要讨论城市要如何透过数位转型来因应新的常态。我们希望我们透过这样子的平台，可以让大家更进一步的合作。最后再次祝大家身体健康，也感谢大家今年的参与。希望我们这一次的疫情明年就可以消退，我们可以再次欢迎所有的城市领导人来到台湾，参与我们的首长高峰会。明年见，谢谢大家。
非常感谢台北市长柯文哲先生的开幕致辞，请您在台上留步，因为接下来要请您发表专题演讲。我们今天有现场许多实体跟线上参与的与会先进，所以柯文哲柯市长想要利用这个机会，让大家更进一步了解台北的智慧城市发展以及展望。已经是2年前的事情了，同时也完全让我们生活大大的不同。现在这里面疫情带来许多好处，也有坏处，也有一些正面跟负面的影响。它其实也让我们现有的概念、日常生活、业界的做法以及都市地景、城市治理都有了不同。对于政府跟企业来讲，在我们要擘画下一步之前，必须首先要先思考我们要擘画怎么样的未来。数位转型其实它是一个文化跟科技的革命，它其实具有科学跟务实的特性。如果我们要推崇更方面、更多元、更有效率、更具包容性、更具韧性、永续的未来，就必须要做到上述这一些目标。那么台湾其实在去年的5月的时候进入了3级疫情警戒，与此同时，其他人呢也受到疫情各不同层次的影响，已经超过1年了。许多在西部的城市呢，或是西方的城市已经开始松绑防疫的限制，因为接种疫苗的程度已经开始增加。不过，现在疫苗的取得，最后仍然会取决于一个城市是否能够安全的恢复到安全的正常的经济常态，同时能够不出疫情的影响。另一方面，我们发现新科技快速的日新月异，其实我们希望能够透过这样的方式消弭数位的鸿沟，透过大数据的方式，让大型企业有机会可以善用他们的优势，在市场上享有竞争的地位。那么在疫情爆发之后，电子商务也是快速的蓬勃发展。而且呢，电子零售现在也开始取代了实体的零售店家。对于企业的营运来讲呢，数位的转型，一方面必须要改变生产工具或者是销售渠道之外，也必须要重新设定公司的管理流程、生产一直到整体的业务模型都要做转型。许多企业已经推出了新的商业模式，也发现一些新的收入来源，比如说他们可以采用一些优秀的科技人才，同时增加科技的能力。因此，我们看一下转型的程度，其实未来就会决定公司是否能够成功在新常态当中用新的竞争模式来竞争。在疫情的影响之下，我们现在看到一些无接触，还有在家经济的这些科助，还有一些医疗照护以及安防的产业，现在也开始快速的成长。也因为现在这个疫情的之下呢，台北的实体零售也还有这个体验经济啊，还有社群的活动以及其他相关的产业，其实也受到了严重的冲击。不过这一些产业呢，不能再靠政府纾困，他们必须要开始步上转型之路，才能够因应后疫情时代的各类挑战。 因此，我们要如何打造台北成为智慧城市呢？我们要以一个创新智慧城市为本的城市治理呢？台北市政府一方面希望要强化它的数位能力，希望借此在提升它的因应能力。除此之外，也必须要协助所有的市民能够快速适应新常态，以及帮助所有的业者跟业界创新转型，这样子才能够慢慢的复苏。那其实目前我们也打造了很多不同的计划，像是数位的基础建设、数位人才的培育、产业的转型、咨询辅导，还有在家居居，还有所谓的在家经济发展，还有无接触的服务等等，都是重点。所以我们希望把台北的数位转型逐步的来落实，同时能够慢慢的让台北的数位韧性逐步的加强。数位基础建设可以说是数位转型的基础，所以这样子才能决定社会是否能够成功的数位转型。在数位科技问世之前呢，公共的基础建设都是由政府推动的，大部分都是透过硬体，比如说像是高速公路啊，或者是通讯、电信服务等等。不过现代基础建设的提供不是只有透过实体的世界来推出，当然基础建设在数位时代呢，有的时候是我们肉眼看不到的，所以呢，它会带来业界带来更多的好处。数位的人才呢，一方面它可以说是经济、还有都市以及文化发展的重要助力之外，这些人才也扮演重要的角色，决定政府跟企业它的竞争力。在讲到数位转型这方面，其实有很多的人才，其实都非常重要。人才是比硬体更关键。那有鉴于上述的挑战呢，台北市政府现在也培育了很多专才跟专业人员。那这些透过公司合作合营的方式来培育人才。那另外，我们现在看到线上学习也日渐盛行，这一方面是疫情应运而生的一个现象，同时也是透过这个机会，让教育更为平等。台北市政府其实非常重视数位平等性，我们透过线上的教育推行，确保教育让所有的小孩都可以接受得到，就算是单亲家庭的小孩也可以有均等的受教机会，无论是家里的经济条件如何、性别或者是宗教信仰都一样。那我们有台北的这个库克云，所以我们有这一个新的线上虚实整合的平台给师生还有家长使用。那透过政府的资源，我们现在希望能够弥补数位的鸿沟，同时能够孕育出新的数位世代的人才。那有一些变革呢，是需要政府在背后默默的推助力，比如说所谓的无接触或是无现金的这个社会。那现在有很多平台或者是数位的面板，让市民可以慢慢的去习惯这些无接触的服务体验。这样子一方面可以强化防疫的成果之外呢，还可以进一步创造所谓的看不见的数位基础建设。这一些可以说是产业创新在未来重要的基石。另外，新冠肺炎的疫情也推升了所谓的无接触远距医疗的需求，所以透过远距医疗的做法，医疗院所就可以把自己医疗的量能推广到深入到社区跟很偏远地区的家庭哦。透过这样的方式，就可以让这些基本的医疗需求获得满足，还有强化资源的分配妥适性之外，还可以完成让整个医疗照护体系变得更臻完善。好，那么在疫情之下的新常态，就表示我们必须要学习跟病毒共存。那无论市政府或者是业者，都必须要做出调整， 要数位转型。那么，因为转型呢，已经成为了台湾是否能够在全球竞争的重要条件，因此我们一定要做好准备，面临在未来所面临的各个挑战。那其实危机也就是转机。那因此，数位转型可以说是一股不可逆的趋势。台北市其实一直非常重视公跟业界的合作，所以我们也希望能够跟全世界的政府一起合作。展望未来，台北市长希望能够邀请国际的城市进一步携手合作，可以彼此切磋交流。分享经验跟知识，再次感谢大家参与今天的智慧城市首长高峰会。希望台北市能够打造更稳健的合作关系，跟大家一起携手合作，我们打造更美好的未来。谢谢。
Once again, thank you very much,
再次的感谢柯市长的报告。
Please return to your seat.
有请回座，谢谢。
As what Mayor Ke has previously mentioned,
柯市长刚才有提到，新冠疫情严重影响人们的生活，而政府的运作还有全球的经济活动也都受到冲击。我们今天能够邀请到世界各地的贵宾，还有在台北的外国使节团，与我们分享他们的智慧城市策略，以及如何更进一步的与台北合作。接下来，我们要欢迎来自11个城市的代表，与我们分享他们如何利用数位转型来减缓新冠疫情造成的冲击。每一位代表有5分钟的时间来报告，我们就展开市长圆桌论坛。我们有请台北市副市长黄珊珊女士来为我们报告。有请黄副市长。
Good morning and good evening, good afternoon to everyone.
来自世界各地的贵宾，早安、午安、晚安。我是台北市副市长黄珊珊，非常高兴能够代表台北市政府来和大家分享台北市在后疫情时代如何推动数位转型以及智慧城市。
Taipei City Government promotes smart cities
台北市政府推动智慧城市，我们希望能够实施宜居永续城市的城市发展愿景，并且以生活实验室为重要的推动概念，希望透过开放场域实证的方式，将智慧科技落实为能够解决城市问题的行动方案，让市民有更好的城市生活品质，打造智慧台北，同时也能够带动台湾智慧城市产业的发展，迎上全球市场需求，推动产业全球化。此外，台北市推展智慧城市的经验，不仅有利于城市国际化的发展，同时也创造机会，让台湾能够拓展透过城市外交来拓展国际关系。台北市政府推动智慧城市与数位转型发展，我们的方式是建立所谓的双核心驱动策略，包括公司部门之间的协力合作，透过科技驱动的机制、资料驱动的机制，以及资料治理数据的应用。在现阶段，我们建立了1+7领域推动框架，以 智慧政府为核心，推动智慧建筑、智慧交通、智慧教育、智慧健康、智慧环境、智慧安防，以及智慧经济。这样子的框架，让我们能够在4个面上继续发展，包括了开放政府、公民参与。
participation and promote public-private partnership to create an innovative solution. Transforming this government into an open platform and using the entire city as a living lab is our core value. So far, we have promoted more than 270 innovative POC projects. Next. During the COVID-19 pandemic, we continue to promote innovation in technology solutions. For example, we promoted the application of 5G networks in hospitals, allowing robots to automatically deliver meals. Next. To promote data governance, we established the Taipei Urban Intelligence Center, TUIC. During the pandemic period, TCG hosts a regular meeting to discuss the latest development of COVID-19. However, it encountered problems such as segmented information prevents policymakers from having a full grasp of the situation. To tackle this issue of fragmented data, we integrate COVID-19 related information with the latest pandemic states in Taipei City through the TUIC. By presenting with a clear-cut visual dashboard interrogating related data, city officials are able to use them as a reference to make decisions on resource reallocation, risk assessment, and performance tracking of pandemic prevention efforts. Next. Taipei City has been promoting smart city for many years and has been highly recognized internationally in recent years. The International Institute for Management Development released the IMD Smart City Index 2021, where it ranks Taipei the 4th amongst 118 cities globally and the 2nd in Asia. Next. Thank you for your listening. Taipei is a living lab. We welcome cities from around the world to share with us your ideas and the solution, and we look forward to work together with you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Deputy Mayor Huan. As what Deputy Mayor has previously mentioned, Taipei really wanted to create a livable and sustainable city, especially smart city, through digital transformation in health, education, environment, economy, transportation, and many more, and a transparent government platform. So once again, thank you very much. Next, may I please welcome Mr. Jan Brizadala, Member of Council of Vysočina Region, Czech Republic, to come up on stage and share with us the smart city strategies. Welcome. Is the microphone working?
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to present you some information about our actual project and IT strategy in our regional policy. I come from the Vysočina region. It is one of the 14 regions in the Czech Republic. Next slides, please. The Vysočina region has about 500,000 citizens and establishes about 100 organizations. It's mainly hospitals, schools, child houses, culture organization, and social organization. It's very important to provide IT for this organization and also IT services for all citizens in all region. In our regional authority, we have a specific deputy. It's the Department of IT which solves this problem. We have also the Department of Analysis and Support Leading, and this department solves the cybernetic security. Next slide, please. On this slide, you can see some main aim in IT which are considered as important. It's, for example, IT infrastructure in all region. We provide IT infrastructure in all region in our regional site. It's called Ravanet, and it's the key infrastructure for hospitals, for offices, for schools, and some similar state, municipalities, or regional organizations. We use also the IT for communication between citizens and office, citizens and organization themselves. We offer some e-government solution, mainly in hospital emergency servicing, and we know it's very important to solve cybernetic safe in this branch. Next slide, please. It's some information about our IT infrastructure in our region. It's Ravanet. It's the non-public infrastructure only for a public organization, not for citizens, and it has a higher standard of cybernetic security. It's the map of this Ravanet site during the region. The Vysočina region consists of 5 smaller regions: Jihlava, Třebíč, Žďár nad Sázavou, Pelhřimov, and Havlíčkův Brod. So the red lines are the main and key infrastructure of this line. Next slide, please. It's our priorities in IT branch for the next years. It's very dependent on European Union funds. We have some regrets about this European Union money for realization of some of these projects. The biggest project in IT in the history of our region is a digital technical map. It's the solution of technical and transport infrastructure in all region. It supports building this infrastructure and also building some organization in the region. The next important project is based on medical documentation and working with ID personality, because it's very important to work online between citizens and organization. The cybernetic security is the standard of cooperation between our organization and also citizen people and organization themselves. Next slide, please. Yes, very big topic for us is also BIM technology. It's a specific method of building information management and in building technology. It means recognizing some buildings and working with data in digital form only. It's a history of building and also some reconstruction. E-health services is associated with ambulances and hospital services. Next slide, please. there is contact at me and my colleagues. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Brazdella, for your wonderful presentation, especially on how Czech Republic can further adopt ICT for public services, communication, and also pointed out the key projects such as cybersecurity and e-health after the pandemic. Once again, thank you very much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, may we please welcome our next speaker. Can I please welcome Mr. Bartoshewis, Deputy Mayor of Kadenia from Poland. Welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a big honor for me to be with you. I'm really glad that we have a chance to meet. And let me thank you at the beginning for organizing this event, as well as the whole effort the organizers did to bring us all together to Taipei. Unfortunately, this is impossible in this year due to the pandemic, as well as the new situation in Europe due to the situation in Ukraine. Can I ask for the next slide, please? Gdynia is a city located on the north of Poland. We're a really green city, and we do a lot to keep it healthy, to have a good air quality. So for the last years, we've been trying to convince all the citizens, especially seniors and youth, to go outside, to spend time in the parks and forests, to play with each other, to spend time with each other. As we all know, during the pandemic, we had to change this scenario. We've been asking people to stay at home. For many years, we've been telling the seniors, go outside, do something. For the last 2 years, we've been telling them, stay at home, don't meet with anyone. And this is the same thing with youth, with kids. We try to convince them to play with each other for many years, not sit by the computer, just do something. And for the last 2 years, we've been communicating with them through the computers, asking them to stay at home. Next slide, please. So what we did at the beginning, actually at the beginning of pandemic, but we continue with that, we made the biggest research in the city and asking every young person in the city, tell us how you're feeling, what's your problem? And that was the biggest research, and we found out that a lot of them are really, really unhappy and they need a big support. And there is a new phase of cyberbullying because we did a lot of things through the internet and through the computers. Next slide, please. So we implement the next edition of municipal program for prevention of cyberbullying and the internet addiction, and trying to convince all the young people that you really need to take care of each other. We implement a new program. Next slide, please. Including some lectures for headmasters. We did a special program for preschools, telling them that new technology is a great thing. Smartphones is a great thing. You can get a lot of knowledge using that. You have to access to the knowledge of the whole world, the whole entire world, but remember, you have to do it in a very responsible way. We try to tell every single person, young person, that it's good you're with us. It's good. We need to take care of your health, and you have to take care of your health. Next slide, please. Trying to keep the city green, we do have our city app. It's called justgdynia.pl. This is a city lab with many functions, but we implement a new function letting the youngest people living in our city to plant a tree. We ask them, go outside, use our city app, find a place where we would like to have a tree and just plant it there. You can do it by yourself, or if you don't want to choose a place, you can vote for places indicated by other people. So we are right now planting the trees and telling the kids, this is a place where you decide to have a tree. Next slide, please. We also did a lot in terms of our innovative platform. It's called Citizens Account. There are a lot of things there. We want to have all services there. If you have kids in the school, there is a special place where you can get all information about schools. It's also about preschools. There is also a platform where you can indicate the problems within the city and the infrastructure, so you can let us know what's not working well. You can make a visit in the city by making a reservation in this platform. There is an access to all information about the city in this platform as well. So we want to keep in this place all the services between the citizen and the city hall, so that people can stay at home and they can just spend as less time as possible doing the services with the city. Next slide, please. We've also learned that it's really efficient to use a voice bot. Of course, we have our call center. During the pandemic, we've replaced some services by using voice bot. It's based on deep learning, machine learning, AI, conversational text-to-speech. But what we've learned, it's not only efficient by the amount of visit we can arrange by the voice bot, but it's also better for the budget. So this is the first voice bot working in Poland, probably not the first city all around the world, but it's really, really efficient. Next slide, please. This is a slide about education. We really focused on education to teach the kids how to use new technology, how to have a good access to the lessons online so they can stay in a good health condition. And we really try to build some relation between those kids. Next slide, please. And this is my last slide, and I have to mention that because this is our new normal. We have really bad situation right now in this part of Europe. We are in new normal. I don't want to say we forgot about COVID because it's still on, but right now we're trying to adjust the city to the needs of our friends from Ukraine. We are along here with Mr. Konrad Fiołek from the city of Rzeszów, the city which is really next to the Ukrainian border. We are on the north of Poland, so there are not many Ukrainians with us right now, but this is a huge challenge for us that we're working on. We are trying to make the city as friendly as it possible. And let me take this opportunity to thank also on behalf of all Ukrainians to the mayor of the Taipei and Taiwan that you also support them. I remember the Taipei 101 skyscraper was lit up with the colors of Ukrainian flag. This is something what is visible here, so thank you for that. And due to the same reason, I have to apologize. I'll be not able to be with you all the time as we have a crisis meeting team. But I hope next year we'll have the chance to meet in person in Taipei. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Deputy Mayor. Thank you for letting us know from environment to education how Kadenia has adopted different platforms online to really help mitigate the pandemic and also to come up and enhance smart city strategies. Thank you. Now, the next delegate I would like to welcome for the keynote presentation is Mr. Koen Metsu, Member of Parliament from Belgium. Welcome.
Ni hao Taipei, ni hao my fellow colleagues, very good morning for me, good afternoon in Taipei. I have 6 quick bullet points and 1 closing remark, if I may. Dijon is a rather small city, only 22,000 inhabitants, but still we don't want to miss this train of the smart cities. First slide, please. So the ICT and e-government, we are convinced that citizens should be able to access as much information and documents relevant to their person as possible in a digital kind of way. Therefore, we launched a new website that has a module where citizens can digitally authenticate themselves, request authentic documents and receive them instantly with a digital signature that can be validated by the receiver. This platform is also integrated with the platform of the central government or any other government organization that is connected to the platform. Next, please. Concerning smart cities, I do believe that public sanity is a major concern of all our citizens. And therefore, we launched a pilot project to help us deal with litter, with illegal dumping by mounting smart camera systems on our municipal trucks, our cars, our bikes. And the system would scan the roads and roadsides and analyze the captured images with artificial intelligence to detect waste that was thrown on the road or in the environment. The pilot project concluded with some great insights in how such a system could work, but also showed us some major issues to deal with. The weather conditions, for instance, were a big factor with respect to the visibility. Rain obstructed the cameras, the lenses, sunlight created some glare once in a while. And also the data transfer gave us some headaches, to be honest, due to the large amounts of data needed. Next, please. The e-inclusion, in trying to include as many people as possible in the new digital society, we organize classes that are specifically aimed at elder people, because we do have lots of them living in Edegem, and obviously we want to include them in this e-story, in this change we are all about to make, or we made already. To ensure every citizen can access online information, we provide government-issued laptops in several locations throughout the city where people can come and, if needed, ask for any assistance. Next. The security of information also is very important, as we all know, and we closely work with our data protection officer to ensure the security of the data we collect and store as a local government. Next. Which I believe is one of the most important things, is the participation of citizens. Without them, we cannot succeed, obviously. In collaboration with a third party, we provide an online community platform called Hoppler to all of our citizens. On this platform, we encourage community building through interaction between citizens in their neighborhoods, specifically in their neighborhoods. The platform also gives us an additional means of rapid communication to our citizens, to inform them, for example, of changes in garbage collection, or to issue communication concerning expected storms, for instance. The other way around, it also provides a platform to our citizens to share information, thoughts, issues with us as a local government, upon which we can interact with them and the neighborhood. It's the neighborhood who takes the initiative, actually. As an addition to Hoppler, we started a citizen participation platform on which we can organize public surveys, co-creation projects, campaigns for community building projects, and so on. Next. The data-driven government. It is important for us as a local government to establish policy based on facts and actual data. We are therefore investigating how we can build a data dashboard that can provide us with real-time insights into different aspects of our own organization. It's our ambition to expand the platform in a later stadium to include data that is gathered throughout our city. But for now, the focus is on the internal functioning of the organization, the projects that are in progress, the incoming reports, and also complaints. In collaboration with a local smart city partner, we also are looking into creating a digital twin of our city, so we can simulate the impact of different policy alternatives beforehand. Quite a challenge. Next, please. So the three biggest obstacles for the digital transformation are the privacy, the data transfer, and the digital illiteracy of our community, because, as I mentioned already, we have quite a lot of older citizens. And then last but not least, next slide. The digital transformation also brought us a lot of opportunities to organize things more efficiently and speed up processes throughout our organization. Digital invoices don't need to be processed manually anymore, which saves us a lot of time. Reports of citizens of issues on the public domain can be handled throughout the organization in an efficient way that can also be followed up. And project management also greatly improved with automatic reminders for tasks and live tracking of the progress. And I could go on for many hours even together with you, but I'm obviously willing to learn from all your expertises as well. So this is where I will end my 5-minute presentation. And I thank you all for the opportunity to be able on this screen. It's an impressive organization. And as the previous speaker, our Polish friend, said, I'm really looking forward to meet all in person one day. Take care.
Thank you very much, Mr. Metsu. And we would also like to thank you for sharing with us the 6 major indicators of enhancing smart city in Belgium through digital transformation. So once again, thank you very much for joining online with us today. Next, the next delegate I would like to welcome is Mr. Konrad Fiok, Mayor of Rizazo, Poland. Welcome.
Morning. As my colleague from Kadenia said, we are also in the middle of the crisis with refugees, but I have prepared a presentation for you, so I will share the smart city implementations that we realize in the city of Rzeszów. Just to start with some basic information, Rzeszów is situated in the southeast of Poland. Can I have the next slide, please? The city is a medium-sized city with around 200,000 residents, and the major branches of economy include IT and aviation industry. The age of citizens is pretty low. This is 39, but the average age. But we do not forget about our senior citizens, and the implementation of all the smart city solutions in the city is to serve the senior citizens as well. Can I have the next slide, please? Here we are, so we are in the southeast of Poland, and because of this location and just 90 kilometers to the border with Ukraine, we are in the middle of what we have right now and what Kadenia already mentioned. Okay, next slide, please. In Rzeszów, we focus on two major branches of economy. This is aviation and aerospace and IT, ICT. Practically 90% of all the aviation industry in Poland is Rzeszów and the Rzeszów sub-region, and because of that we are able to implement a lot of smart solutions, not only in the fields of what the municipality does, but also in the fields of companies. Okay, next slide. The city is designed to be the city for citizens, and with this in mind, we try to implement all the solutions that let us be more friendly to citizens and let us improve the quality of life of our citizens. And these include, for example, smart bus shelters, the bus shelters which are air conditioned in the summer and heated in the winter, and they are to allow people to wait for the buses in more comfortable conditions. Next slide, please. Another very important solution that we have been developing for almost 10 years now is the smart mobility. We won't be able to encourage people to use public transport if we do not invest in public transport. So if the public transport is not comfortable, punctual, people will not use it. So we invest a lot in public transport. These investments include, for example, e-buses, of course, modern local bus station and intelligent transport system, which kind of connects all the elements of the system together. Next slide. And smart city means also smart parking, because people will use individual cars. So we try to encourage them to use public transport. If they cannot, they have to pay for parking in the very city center. And by doing so, they are able to create more spaces. And the paid parking zone is developed with the use of an app. So if you are looking for a free space to park your car, you can use a special app. You can also pay for parking with this app. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, Urban Lab Rzeszów is the space, it's a physical space in the city of Rzeszów, in the very city center, which we are particularly proud of. This is the place that was designed 2 years ago to let the people be involved in what the city does in terms of the improvement of the quality of life. And as you can see in the picture, we try to involve as many social and age groups as possible in the development of the city, in the designing of the city together with the city administration. Okay, next slide. Okay, Urban Lab is for people to learn Minecraft, 3D printing. We organize hackathons, small micro innovations, and the overall idea of the space is integration of different age groups of people with disabilities, of senior citizens, of young people, so that they are all involved in the process of improvement of the quality of life in the city. Okay, next slide. And one of the very nice examples of what we were able to do and what was born, the idea was born in Urban Lab, was creating a series of anti-smoke murals. These murals are located of the city. They were painted on, for example, as you can see in this picture, on the walls of schools, and they were designed by the pupils of schools, but they were painted with the use of special anti-smoke paints that, so to speak, absorb the pollutants from the air. So we have a series of such murals already, and we are thinking of new ones. Okay, next slide, please. Mobility is not only public transport, it's not only individual cars, but also scooters, e-bikes, and we invest a lot together with companies in these alternative means of transport so that people can use different means of transport instead of their individual cars. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, and Green City. Green City is the idea that we have been developing for these 2 years now, and the idea is that we are trying to create a 10-minute city. A 10-minute city is the idea that says that a resident of the city should not have more than 10-minute walk, should not be more than 10-minute walk from a green area, whether it is a small park, whether it is a pocket park, whether it is a huge park with a river. At least the maximum time he or she should take to get there is 10 minutes. And we are realizing this idea. There's a long way ahead of us, but we are heading the right direction. Okay. Next slide. This was the last one. So thank you very much for your attention. This was the smart city implementation in the city of Rzeszów in Poland, and hopefully we'll be with you together face to face next year. Goodbye.
Thank you, Mayor Fiok. Thank you for sharing with us how you try to promote green city, also smart transportation, e-parking, but most importantly, the concept of urban lab to enhance innovation and integration. Thank you very much. Next, ladies and gentlemen, may we please welcome our next delegate online? Can we please welcome Mr. Salah Kouyal, Deputy Mayor of Aix-en-Provence, France. Welcome.
Good afternoon to Mr. Mayor of Taipei City. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. My name is Salah Kouyal. I'm Deputy Mayor of Aix-en-Provence in charge of Smart City, data, and in charge of the West District of the city that counts 30,000 citizens. Next slide, please. Aix-en-Provence Mayor Sophie Joassin and I would like to express our gratitude for your invitation to participate in the Smart City Summit. Aix-en-Provence is a city of 150,000 citizens located in south of France, and it is the capital of La Provence. Aix-en-Provence is well known for its medieval architecture and its culture. It's a very beautiful city and I invite you to visit the city. And also I want to mention that it is an honor for us to have the Taipei representative office in our city. Today, I'm representing our mayor, Sophie Joassin, and I will share with you how our city is building new solutions on top of blockchain technology. But before that, I want to share with you what we did during the last years. In our city, we firstly built our own proprietary hardware infrastructure, telecommunication, cloud, and LoRaWAN. Then we started the hardware implementations based on our main smart city policies that support the overall policy, Aix-en-Provence as a good living place. We deployed sensors for the noise, the pedestrian flow, sensors to detect the warmth spots, parking sensors to help disabled people to find easily a place to park their car in the city center, in order to sustain our policy for better communication between the city governance, the administration, and the citizens. We deployed a website and an app to share all the information that are important for our citizens and the information from all the sensors deployed across the city. Next slide, please. Since 2020, we have the will to work on the blockchain technology. And why that? Because we think that blockchain helps cities to build trust and transparency with citizens while making the system more efficient. We want to move from a traditional IT infrastructure that makes the data vulnerable from an internal manipulation or hackers manipulating or deleting records to a distributed blockchain infrastructure. So we can see here the difference between three systems: the centralized system, a decentralized system, and the distributed system. The centralized system, once an hacker can access to the system, it can manipulate or delete whatever he wants. The decentralized system is more efficient and secure, but not as a distributed system. Next slide, please. I want to share with you two use cases. The first one we are working on with the local tax center that is in charge of land registry. The goal behind moving to blockchain is to have immutable historical data for the land registry. The data inside of the blockchain is open to citizens that want to know the state of a land or to see the historical data of a specific land. The advantage also is the efficiency of the system with less time to record and cost cheaper to transfer a property. The blockchain will help to secure the records data and to make secure transactions, but the blockchain technology will not help for poor quality data, legal and policy issues. Next slide, please. For the second use case, for the citizen participation, the starting point was how could we incentivize the citizen participation? The solution seems now clear to us since the blockchain exists and leverage on blockchain technology to create a citizen participation reward program based on a city token. Our goal is not to create a system with social points and to judge if a citizen is good or bad, not at all. What we want is to create a program of specific citizen actions, and for now, there is two actions that we want to deploy and we identify. The first one is students that spend time with our isolated elders, and the second one is an action where a group of citizens would clean an area in the city. Each citizen will have access to its wallet, and for each civic action, the citizen will be rewarded. We want to make that possible from the official website and the official app of the city. How the earned token by citizen would be used? What we want is to partner with shops, commerces, and organizations to give advantage to the citizens by spending their earned tokens. For now, we are working on those solutions, and we are trying to produce the POC of those solutions based on the blockchain technology. And we hope that we will make the demo of it in the next year during the Taiwan Smart City Summit in person. I hope that the COVID will be behind us. So this is what I want to share with you from our experimentations here in Aix-en-Provence. And thank you for your listening. And if you have any questions, and if you have time for that, I will be glad to answer your questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kuyel. Thank you for your thorough explanation on the usage of blockchain technology, for instance, through land registry, on how it can enhance transparency and efficiency. I believe a lot of cities can also learn this from France. Thank you very much. Now, the next delegate I would like to welcome is Mr. Cammy Day, Deputy Leader of City of Edinburgh Council, UK. Welcome.
Ni hao Taipei, and welcome from Edinburgh. My name's Cammy Day, and I'm the Deputy Leader at the City of Edinburgh Council and the lead for Smart Cities. Edinburgh has an ambition to partnership with Taiwan, and only last week we agreed that we would start formal measures to make our partnership with Taiwan and its many cities a formality over the next few months. I really look forward to that. We also have a vision to become a data capital of Europe, and we're working hard to achieve that as well. Of course, I'm disappointed not to be here there in Taipei again this year, but look forward to joining you all next year. And also to say thank you to Taipei and Taiwan for the help that they've given to the UK during COVID. And I'll join with my Polish colleagues in Slava, Ukraine. Next slide, please. So my site, Poggi, we're the capital of Scotland with a population of just over £500,000. A World Heritage Site which can sometimes make it quite difficult for us to modernise into new technology in a new world when we have an ancient capital city to work around as well. With the seat of 4 key universities, some of the best in the world, and we'll have nearly 5 million visitors come to our city every year to enjoy the festivals. And Edinburgh and the region around Edinburgh brings in nearly a quarter of the country's wealth and economic growth. Next slide, please. This slide just sets out our vision of some of the phases we've been taking forward in phase 1, which is about trying to get a smart city operations platform, a brand new CCTV network for the city. We've been working on analog for some time and we need to move to a new digital arrangement and look at all the new options in that. Bin sensors to help us manage how we manage our staff and manage our resources better, and housing sensors which are trying to make the living standards in people's houses a bit better. And COVID's also allowed technology advances here in Edinburgh to be really immediate, and that as soon as COVID came, we were able to switch thousands of staff to home working overnight and shift so many customers from a more traditional way of working onto a rapid online way of working, which has been a huge achievement for the city. Next slide, please. I touched on the smart sensors. So these are about trying to create, with technology, better living arrangements for some of our housing stock. Edinburgh has around 20,000 of the council's own properties, and some of them are maybe not the best condition. And so these sensors would help us to view data in houses about the use of energy, any dampness, and any pros and cons in and around the house to allow us to make that living standard better. And so we're starting to roll these into properties across the city now. And it'll give us trends about the energy use, trends about the dampness that I mentioned, and any other conditions that may be apparent in people's homes. Next slide, please. This is about our approach to a new city operations centre. I touched on earlier, we need to bring a new CCTV centre, which is costing us over £1.5 billion to manage a complex, small but busy city, and changing to different kind of analytics technology that can be more of an automated response. We have a unit here in the city centre that manages all our CCTV, and can we do that differently with automated and AI technology? The last time I was in Taipei in 2019 at Smart City, I've seen and learned of some amazing new CCTV technology that can manage itself through AI. So we're looking to bring some of that expertise into Scotland. Next slide, please. One thing I mentioned was about our waste services and trying to manage how we send resources. I'm sure, like many cities, we have bin lorries and refuge trucks that go around the same routes every week, every day. And these new sensors will alert us to when the bins are full and need immediate attention, and allow us to manage better our resources of staff, vehicles travelling across the city when maybe they don't need to, and also to help keep the city cleaner and tidier. Next slide, please. This slide just sets out some of the costs that we've anticipated. A number of the support came from the European Regional Development Fund, which matched the council's own funding, but the total costs, as you'll see there, for some of these come to £3.5 million for the housing programme, just under £2 million for our CCTV project, bringing in a substantial investment for the city. And we also, as I touched on earlier, have some of the best universities in the world that we're looking to work with to try and become the data capital of Europe, with this Bayes Institute and the Futures Institute just to open in the capital city, bringing together 600 of the world's best artificial intelligence minds. Next slide, please. Yeah. So this maybe just points at the benefits to all the work that we're doing across the city. And for us, it's focused on the citizens of our city who pay their council tax and who elect us to do the best thing for them, to try and create a better quality housing experience, to create safer and cleaner streets across our city, to proactively monitor the waste services and collect them more efficiently, and in our CCTV to make sure that we have a CCTV system that gives us better data and allows us to manage the city to keep it safer and a better place to go, and links that into our ambitions to have a 20-minute neighbourhood. I think one of our Polish colleagues spoke earlier about having 10-minute neighbourhoods, which is ambitious. We hope to have a 20-minute neighbourhood where people will be able to live and enjoy their neighbourhoods within 20 minutes of their current home. And that's all from me. Next slide, and thank you very much, Shishi.
Thank you very much, Mr. Day. From public safety to household technologies, Mr. Day has also pointed out how Edinburgh implemented smart cities approach to better serve the citizens. So once again, thank you very much. May I also please remind all the delegates online to please remain online and connected with us. Thank you very much. Now, the next delegate I would like to welcome is Mr. Dato Tan Chan Kim, Selangor Executive Counselor for Industry and Commerce, Malaysia. Welcome.
Mr. Wajako, Mayor of Taipei City, Mr. Shanshan Huang, Deputy Mayor of Taipei City, moderator, and fellow speakers from respective countries, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Good day and greeting from Selangor. First of all, I thank you to the host for inviting the Selangor State Government to be part of the 2022 Smart City Summit and Expo. Although we are only meeting virtually, I hope everyone is staying safe wherever you are. In Selangor, we have 12 cities, and therefore we run the Smart City Initiative together. We call it Smart State Initiative. We consider e-commerce as part of our Smart City or Smart State Initiative. Let me provide you with an overview of the e-commerce sector's contribution to Malaysia's national accounts. For the year 2021, income for e-commerce was recorded at about USD 261 billion, an increase of 61.6% compared to 2019. Selangor continues to lead the Malaysian economy with a contributions of 24.3% towards the national gross domestic product in 2020. Malaysia's vibrant economic ecosystem has also resulted in almost 20% of the nation's small to medium enterprises to be located in Selangor. Of these, nearly all the 3,000 technology startups in Malaysia are based in Selangor. Selangor continues to attract quality investment in high technology manufacturing, such as parts manufacturing and maintenance in aerospace industry, automated port management, biotechnology, IR 4.0 manufacturing, fintech, and artificial intelligence. Selangor's current success relies a lot on its thriving economy, which is an important pillar in ensuring Selangor's livability. However, we see two main challenges to our present economic position. Firstly, it is the competition from other upcoming states within Malaysia and other centers within the Southeast Asia region. Secondly, it is a challenge of disruptive digital technologies that can render most of Selangor's traditional strength as irrelevant if we do not embrace and use them to our advantage. Disruptive technology is the great equalizer as it allows a newcomer with limited resources to overthrow highly entrenched incumbents within a short space of time. Unfortunately, Malaysia's track record as a center of innovation has been spotty despite massive investment by both the federal and the state government, as we are known more as being a nation of technology consumers than the creator. Talents and investment are attracted to a destination that offers a high quality of life to its residents despite the place not having any natural resources such as Silicon Valley in the United States and our neighbor, Singapore. Therefore, the Selangor state government aspires to transform Selangor, not just for its present citizens, but for the future as well. Through the Smart Selangor initiative, we hope to make Selangor a livable smart state in ASEAN by the year 2025, making the state the destination of choice for people to live, work, study, and play. At its core, Smart Selangor, which was conceived in 2016, is an initiative by the state to empower its people, business, and public sector to use digital technologies to deliver its objective to improve economic productivity, improve state livability, and preserve our nature and environment. The COVID-19 pandemic has given a huge boost to digital adoptions, accelerating Smart Selangor initiative. when the COVID-19 outbreak first impacted Malaysia in early 2020, Selangor was the only state to utilize digitalization through initiatives like the Selangor Contact Tracing Application, Selangor e-Kitchen Program, and e-Bazaar Raya campaign, or in English, Festive e-Bazaar campaign. The Selangor apps was first launched in May 2020 as an immediate response to facilitate the monitoring of human traffic during the movement control orders resulting from the COVID-19 pandemic. The Selangor e-Kitchen program was part of the state's economic stimulus package to move the people's economy by assisting entrepreneurs in sustaining their business online and expanding their market access. The Selangor e-Bazaar Raya, or as I said, the Festive e-Bazaar campaign, launched in 2020, was an exclusive collaboration between Selangor Information Technology and Digital Economy Corporation, SIDEC, and e-commerce platform Shopee to assist state SME and micro SME who suffered during the COVID-19 pandemic. The Selangor State Government has also established a special purpose vehicle, Selangor e-Wallet Private Limited, to run a joint venture with an existing e-wallet company equipped with an e-money license, money lending license issued by the National Bank of Malaysia, and the Ministry of Housing and Government local governments, as well as an e-wallet size of 10,000 ringgit. The Selangor e-Wallet Super App will collect all Selangor State Government business services, local authorities, statutory bodies, and subsidiaries of Selangor State Government. It also includes welfare services channeled to the people, as well as creating an online marketplace to digitize SME and micro SME business in Selangor. This effort will simplify matters and save time for those who are in dire need of state government's assistance, at the same time improving the efficiencies of services between state government, citizens, and SME industry, all in one digital wallet. Ladies and gentlemen, the pandemic and unexpected turn of events have put us on edge, and it has made it abundantly clear that digital adoption is a necessity for business to mitigate the unpredictable future risks. Therefore, let us continue to work together towards promoting digital transformation to take our smart cities to a new height. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kim, for pointing out how crisis can turn into opportunity and that Selangor still seeks to thrive its economy and also meet the challenges through digital transformation amid the pandemic. So once again, thank you very much. The next delegate I would like to welcome online is Mr. Danny Amu, Deputy Mayor of Dijon Metropol, France. Welcome.
Hello. Do you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, thank you. I have two slides. I'm very happy to be with you. It's an honor to share with you our experience and to hear your experience too. The next, please. This slide is a sort of a big picture that gives you the for our mid-sized metropolis, French metropolis. We are 23 municipalities and 260,000 inhabitants on Dijon metropolis, and we have some project on the energy positive district at the European scale. We are agro-food project also. That's an international project. We have a global mobility system that is interesting because you have all the mobility with also the data you can exploit. And you can give some services to citizens. We have an international project on gastronomy and wine because we have some tourists, more than 3 million tourists before the COVID. And we have also some project on energy, on hydrogen. But we think we have to give you a big picture of our global vision and political vision with the mayor François Rebsamen, that is also president of the metropolis and ancient minister of France. We have a global and complex vision because we think we have to associate ecology and biodiversity we have to associate also on the same complex vision, social, that include the people, because we think that we have to have a society that is not a sort of fight, but we have to have an harmonious society, and we have to reach a sort of sustainable economy with our project. That is the big picture that I will share with you, because we have some project on the European and international scale, and you're welcome to see this project in Dijon, of course. Next, please. Focus on the Home Dijon project around the question of smart city, but we think we have to have a human and sustainable smart city, because if we have just technology, maybe we excluded people. At the beginning of the project, we tried to work on the question of. We launched the project on April 2019, and for us it's a consortium. We have a sort of partnership with strong public leadership with our vision, but also a consortium of companies that will give us the possibility to get the best of private innovation. I think it's the best way to share and to think the smart city. But the strong public leadership is very important for us. The Home Dijon project begins with infrastructure, the contract of 105 million euro, with including the 53 million euro investments financed by the Metropolis and also the region Bourgogne-Franche-Comté, because we are the capital of the region. In this project, you can find some renovation, some energy savings, 65% of energy savings. It's a contribution for the climate goals. We geolocated vehicles. We have more than 200 buses equipped with bus priority, because with the global mobility system, we try to reach more efficiency. We have renewal of cameras, and we have also 200 buildings operated safely and securely. It's very, it's some goal around the question of infrastructures. But at the heart of the project, you have also the security of people with the municipal police. And we have a call center for the citizen with the Home Dijon portal. This portal welcome 1,000 calls per day. And it had been extended by, in October of 2021, by the Home Dijon application with the power of real time. And it's a strong pressure on the public services. But the next step of the project is to integrate, try to integrate a governance objective or data heritage, because we think we have to be very careful of cyber security with data awareness. We can also have some dashboard with for elected officials of our public services to pilot the services, or to give us the possibility to have some good decision. And we have also we are very, very careful on the privacy, because it's a question of data trust for the citizens, between the citizen and officials. We try to organize the different thematics of the data on a sort of data hub, because we think we have to architecture the system. And we have also a committee, ethical committee, that give us some advice on technology and security questions. To facilitate the use of and circulation of data, we imagine the next step with a sort of data factory on 10,000 square meter building on the university campus. It will be a sort of crossroad to organize communities, citizen participatory workshops or projects between citizens, research lab, engineer school, companies, and public services. Finally, we think the Home Dijon project is a booster for the attractiveness of our territory. And we welcome on Dijon more than 200 delegations. And on these 200 delegations, we welcome 50 international delegations. It's our project, and we have a prize on Barcelona in 2018 in the Smart City Expo World Congress of Barcelona. We compete for the City Award, and we are second, and the first is Singapore. I think it's a good job. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Deputy Mayor Amu. Thank you for sharing with us your Smart City project and further fostering urban innovation. So once again, thank you very much. Last but not least, may I please invite our next speaker, His Excellency Galwin Obaseki, Executive Governor of Edo State Government, Nigeria. Welcome.
Thank you very much, and thank you for inviting me to this summit. So unfortunately, I can't be there physically with you, but I nonetheless appreciate the invitation. Edo State is one of 36 states in Nigeria, and it is the cultural capital of the country. You may recall that about 100 years ago, the British invaded the Benin Empire and destroyed Benin City and took away a lot of its bronze works, which litter most museums all over the world today. Edo State has about 5 million people. Next slide. Edo State has about 5 million people, mostly young people. About 70% of them are under the age of 35. And with this very youthful population, we were able to withstand the ravaging pandemic, COVID-19. So COVID-19 did not impact us as drastically as it did many other countries from a healthcare perspective. However, from a livelihood perspective, it was quite unraveling for us. And so most of our strategy in terms of thinking about our future, thinking about our cities, has been drastically changed as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. For us, our focus as a people and as a state is on our culture, trying to find out who we are, understanding who we are, and how to engage the world to preserve our ecosystem, particularly our forestry assets as we are in the rainforest, and to utilize technology to drive our human development, particularly in the areas of education, skill development, and security. Benin City has about 2,000 square kilometers of land, and as I said, about 2 million people. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide. And our aspiration is to first begin to plan our cities, take advantage of the post-COVID of COVID-19 to build infrastructure. And we see this as an opportunity to leapfrog using technology in building our infrastructure and human capacity. So we now have a project, a 30-year urban and regional development project, which hopefully we utilize technology in redefining our space and our people. We are emphasizing investment opportunities and job creation because of the large population of young people who we have, and to reduce the pressure on them to want to migrate to countries outside of Nigeria. The lesson of COVID-19 for us with the lockdown told us that we are now on our own, and we must do all we can to build our cities, build our state, build our infrastructure. And therefore, the next 5 years or half a decade, the emphasis by state government is to source investments to begin to institutionalize the use of technology in our governance process, in our educational system, and also in our healthcare system. Our our redefinition of our society, of our city, post COVID-19 is to focus on culture. So we have designed a cultural district where we want to encourage a connection between our past and our future. Currently, we have archaeological teams from the UK and Germany working on archaeological discoveries. And we have also designed a new pavilion to host some of the works, cultural works we expect to be repatriated in the next couple of years. In addition to redefining the cultural district, we also have a project called Digital Edo, where we have, working with partners, have captured, digitally over 4,000 pieces of artworks that are spread across the world. Next slide. We're also focusing on technology, and for us, it's about building people, young people to support technology. So we have designed a technology park where we expect to train between 10 to 15,000 software engineers and technical experts over the next few years. And then lastly, we have to emphasize, next slide, we have to emphasize manufacturing. And fortunately, with the gas assets we have also designed, next slide, we have designed an enterprise park. It's a digital park, almost 1,000 hectares of property to accommodate light industries, residential zones, and state-of-the-art infrastructure. Next slide. For us, COVID-19 has told us that we cannot go out, it's going to be difficult going outside of our country to seek medical care. So we have designed our own medical city, our medical district, and we expect that we can find investments and partnerships to build our own healthcare systems internally just to withstand the challenges of future pandemics. And finally, next slide. We want to thank you and say that for us, the story of Edo State is one where we want to take advantage of the opportunities provided by COVID-19 to begin to rebuild our infrastructure and our people to cope with a changing world and future pandemics. Thank you.
Thank you very much, His Excellency Obaseki, for your wonderful, inspiring presentation on infrastructure and also urban spaces and technology park to respond to smart cities resilience. Now, we're going to move on to a panel discussion. Throughout this panel discussion, I would like to invite speakers onto the stage. May I please welcome Deputy Mayor Juan onto the stage for panel discussion, and Mr. Jan Brisdala again to come up on stage for panel discussion. Earlier, we have seen delegates from around the world sharing with us the strategies they have for their smart cities to really see what they can further do to mitigate the pandemic impact through digital transformation. Now, for this panel discussion, we would like to dive further and see the kind of obstacles that we have faced for each different city. Now, I would like to ask our panelists, what is your city's biggest obstacle when it comes to digital transformation? I would like to first ask Deputy Mayor Juan, in terms of Taipei City trying to transform into a smart city amid COVID, what is the biggest challenge and how has Taipei City overcome it?
Okay, Taipei City, the greatest challenge for Taipei City for digital transformation in smart city development could be how to engage all the stakeholders to co-promote technological innovation and how to well use the information made with the digital governance, requirements of information protection and confidentiality. Taipei City therefore built a co-respondent organization as a mechanism to promote the innovation under the driving forces, technology and the digitals. identifying the city development issues through digital analysis, and trying to solve the issue and the problem through smart and innovative approach. So, in terms of technology-driven, Taipei's Smart City Project Management Office, the TPMO, is responsible for promoting and encouraging public-private partnership. And Taipei Smart City Committee is to strengthen the communication between private sector and the government, and also supervise the result of the proof of concept, POC, and decides the project's scale up. In terms of data-driven, Data Governance Committee regulates the data application and usage as well as the content to be protected. Then, Taipei Urban Intelligence Center, TUIC, conducts the data analytic integration and application based on the specific city governance issue, and also provides support for the city policy and the related decision.
Thank you very much. And I would also like to ask Mr. Jan Brisdala, earlier you also talked about how your city is also adopting ICT and also e-government to really fight against COVID-19. So have you also faced any obstacles during the process, and how has your city overcame the obstacles?
At the start of COVID-19,
do we have
I'm not sure
we will try to change the microphone, but...
Is it correct? Okay. At the start of COVID-19 situation, we had to solve the situation with ordering patient to PCR testing. We established some hospitals in the Vysočina region, so these hospitals are responsible for PCR testing of the patient. Because the state level or Czech Republic hadn't any system for ordering, we had to focus on programmated some separately system. Thank you for the change. Is it better? Yes. Definitely. I'm not sure if you understand me, so I say it only that at the start of this COVID-19 situation, we had to programmate some system for ordering patient for PCR testing, because Czech Republic hadn't any system for solving this project. We, as the establisher of some hospitals which realized this testing, we are responsible for this service, so we had some separately solution, and we offered this solution or online platform to other regions too. Actually, we used this situation in the crisis with Ukraine because we are next to state next to Ukraine, so we have a large amount of immigrants from this state, and we have to register these Ukrainian immigrants in the Czech Republic, because we have the regions center of help to Ukraine. We have to log in them in these centers, so we have the system prepared.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Jan. Unfortunately, because due to the time constraint, we're not able to hear even more stories from our panelists. But I believe throughout the whole international roundtable, and also Deputy Mayor Huang and also Mr. Yang from Czech Republic have also shared very fruitful insights on how each cities, especially the cities that we really wanted to mitigate the pandemic, the kind of strategies that we use through digital transformation. So once again, thank you all for being here with us today. But now I would like to pass the mic to Deputy Mayor Juan for giving us a closing remark for this session's Mayor's Summit.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate all the city representatives for your insights. From your experience sharing, we learned that the pandemic has not only put great impact on the economies, education, and lifestyles, but also the business model in most countries. The post-pandemic era accelerated the digital transformation of city and the industries. The world is facing a new normal that sets completely different from our lives in the past. With a shift in the lifestyles and the behaviors of all consumers, it is an essential lesson for the local government to seek the way in living in peace with the virus. Find a new pattern of post-pandemic era. Be well prepared in advance. Drive the innovation upgrade of industries and find new opportunity for economic development. Under the pandemic impact, the transformation really matters in building our competitiveness. Every challenge is a new opportunity for us to improve and evolve. I believe everyone here has been inspired. Through the hybrid format of today's event, the Smart City Mayor Summit is able to hold in success. For we have seen an amazing exchange of everyone's ideas on the topic. How do cities respond to the new normal with digital transformation? And today's conference is ending soon. We would like to thank you all again for your participation. Hopefully, next year, the COVID-19 will be contained so that we are able to welcome you, delegation, to visit us in person. And see you next year in Taipei. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Deputy Mayor Juan. Thank you. And this is it for this session's Smart City Mayor Summit. Please be also reminded that we have another session tomorrow at 7 o'clock in the morning, Taipei time. We would like to thank all the in-person delegates for joining with us today, and of course, all of our online delegates for being with us here today. If you want more information, please also visit our official website. Once again, thank you very much. And this is it for today's summit. Thank you.